is everyone doing right now? How we all doing right now? We got in the chat right now. For everyone just joining us right now, we're going to be officially starting in about like 4 minutes. 4 minutes at 35, we'll go ahead and actually start like getting into it and everything. But how y'all doing? Let's see what we got. Aiden, DJ, what's going on, man? Whiskey, what's going on, bro? If you guys can do me a huge favor, let me know how the audio is coming in, and let me know how the video is looking as well. Want to make sure that we're all good. You know, we got no problems. We're all copacetic. If so, if there are issues, I can go ahead and adjust the volume as need be. Flor Hernandez, what's up? What's up? Manuel Chief Torres, what's up, bro? Moist Napkin, how you doing, dude? Moonface too. Hi back at you. Hello there. Yeah, for everyone, we're going to start in like 4 more minutes at 35. We'll go ahead and actually start getting into it. Kermit the Depressed Frog, audio is good. Thank you. Much appreciated, Kermit. Yeah, I'll officially get started in just a little bit. Yeah, audio looks like we're all good. Cool. Oh, how's everyone's weekend going so far? Have you guys actually played this weekend? You guys going to be playing tomorrow or later on today? What are you guys' plans? This weekend, I'm supposed to be playing tomorrow, but the check engine light in my car is on. Came on recently, and I'm working to try to fix it. We'll see. We will see how that goes. If I can't fix it by tonight, looks like I'm not going tomorrow, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, and we'll officially get started in like 3 more minutes, and then we can go ahead and start answering some questions. We'll go over some stuff. Outdoors and Airsoft. I'm good. How about you? I'm doing good, actually. Thank you. I'm actually very excited to go ahead and start today's stream. A little sad about my car more than anything, but I am still excited to be here. Thank God. Like it seems like I've gotten most of the issues worked out on my car. Again, I wasn't too sure what the issue was. But you know, I didn't have any problems with my car at all getting to work, or hopefully I won't have any going home. You know, knock on wood. We'll see how that goes. Moist Napkin, great so far. Still working on my World War I loadout. Ooh, interesting, Moist Napkin. You gotta let us see some pics, man. You gotta snap a pic or two in the and share it in the Discord in the Discord server. Let us know in the tactical gear hit section. I want to see that. Stitch, how you doing? Stitch, for those that don't know, Stitch is actually in the storefront right now. I don't know if he is still there, but I think he's still there here. But yeah, he's in the store right now. See here. It's funny you're talking about historical loadouts. I'm actually working right now too. I got like 3 kits in the process. I got a MACV SAW kit in the works, doing Gothic Serpent loadout, and then I also have I found my old Thompson actually in my in the storage that I had in my parents' house, and I'm gonna be putting together World War II Marine kit. I'm going for that Pacific Theater, you know. Yeah, guys, we'll get started in about 1 more minute. We'll go ahead and start answering some questions from there. At 35, we'll officially go ahead and start. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and share this around, too, with anyone that at all might be remotely interested in Airsoft. Really helps us out, obviously, if you go ahead and give us a thumbs up as well, considering YouTube really hates Airsoft and anything related to firearms, so really does do us some good. If you wouldn't mind doing that for us, thank you very much. And like a few more seconds. DSO07 Discord link didn't work. Go ahead, hit us up. It's we can definitely like hit you up with the Discord link to go ahead and join. Hit us up. You can go through Instagram or Facebook, and we can set that up for you too. All right, and now it is 3:35. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Storefront live stream. This is a Q&A live stream, so if any of y'all have any questions regarding Airsoft, make sure to go ahead and let me know. Put the letter Q in front of your question, and I can definitely go ahead and do my best to try to help as many people out as I possibly can. Fidel, what's going on, Fidel? My brother, right? But yeah, make sure to go ahead and put a Q in front of the question that you have in the live chat, not in the comment section, in the live chat. In the comment section, I can't see that yet, not until after this video gets posted, of course. So make sure to go ahead and let me know. It could be anything related to Airsoft. If you're looking for recommendations, if you're looking for, maybe a little bit of like stories or like personal experiences. You know, I've been playing for fucking 13, maybe 14 years now at this point. So I have a little bit of experience under my belt. if you want to ask questions about me personally, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Make sure to go ahead and leave a queue, though, in front of your question. That way, it's a lot easier for me to go ahead and see if there's a queue in front of it. And if I don't get to it, you are allowed to go ahead and ask your question more than once. However, don't spam the question. I would appreciate it if y'all don't spam it. If we see you guys are spamming stuff, then we're just going to go ahead and just kick you out of it. It's not going to work that way. I want to go ahead and let you guys know we have the big promo right now going on right now. It's for the Independence Day mystery box. Any of the Independence Day mystery box we got online right now, the 170, right? 170. That's already a really cheap price point, right? You're automatically getting free shipping. That's fucking cool. That's fucking dope, right? But what exactly could you get for 170, right? Well, if we scroll down all the way here to the items list, right? You got some G&G. You got some the 240, right? You got the Lance 240. You got the Mark 46s. You got the VFC 416s. You got some LCT. You got the BCM. You got some KWA. You got some Classic Army, some Zion Arms R15, some BW9s. You got a lot of stuff in here that you could potentially win. All this is really fucking banging. The lowest tier item that you could possibly win is already more expensive than the cost of the box. So it's a guaranteed victory no matter which way you look at it. But order one of these bad boys and you will be getting 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. And for all my newer guys that are watching right now and not too sure what I'm talking about when I say the shopping spree giveaway, what that means, every week we do basically a raffle, right? Every week we do a shopping spree giveaway where we raffle off Storefront a shopping spree where it starts off at $600 and it builds up from there, right? So the previous winner actually wasn't present during the last live stream when his name was called. So, because since we don't text you, we don't call you, you have to be watching the stream, we decided to go ahead and stack it, right? And we will do that every single time that the winner is not present. So we stack the prize, another $600. So now we're looking at $1,200. $1,200 that you could win just by picking up one of these boxes. And you're guaranteed to go ahead and win something. It's not a gamble, right? Because, again, Airsoft GI is the only airsoft retailer that's doing it. We want to give back to the community. So any $20 order that you place will get you an entry. But again, that Independence Day mystery box, you get 10 chances of winning. 10 chances of winning $1,200 on top of the amazing products you're going to win. But with that said, we also want to go ahead and give a highlight to some new products as well. We actually just got the black and gold and black and red MGC4 Mark IIs available for pre-order. Those went up earlier today. Posted that in the Discord earlier, but just so you guys are aware, those are available for pre-order. Those are going to be coming in November 15th. That is the current ETA. Have some items that are being restocked. But we also have the bronze version as well of the Mayo Gang MP5. Just look at that bronze. Look at that bronze. That is super freaking nice. That is super freaking cool, right? And again, there's that ETA 11/15/2023, right? There are still plenty of other items that are new as well, right? Like the Echo 1 N4 Performance Plus, right? If you're looking for another pre-upgraded Mark 18 option that is pretty damn affordable. $215, that's really good. That's a really good price point. And then, of course, we have some Mayo Gang MGC4 Mark II combos with gas blowback pistols, right? And there's a lot of different options to choose from, so definitely worth checking out. Also, the Echo 1 BTS Mod 2, we have that available in addition to the Performance Plus version as well, where it'll come included with the Unicorn barrel setup out of the box. Now, with that said, why don't we go ahead and just start answering some questions. Remember, if you have a question, make sure to go ahead and put the letter Q in front of it, and make sure to go ahead and share the video around. Make sure to share the live stream. If you guys know anyone that's at all remotely interested in Airsoft, maybe have some questions, let them know, go ahead and swing my way, and I can definitely do my best to try to help them out. All right, let's see here. It's going down here. Okay, make sure. Okay, so this is going to answer the most recent questions, and we're going to go back. So again, make sure to go ahead and share this around. If you guys know anyone that's at all remotely in Airsoft and not sure where to get started, shoot them my way. Shoot them my way. I can definitely help them out. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Okie dokie. First question, Joshua AB. My AAPO1 leaks all the gas when I shoot one time. Usually that would tell me okay, if you're saying it shoot one time, there could be a number of things that might be going on. I would take a look maybe at is it the valve knocker? Yeah. Maybe the valve knocker might be broken. That's usually one of, if I'm not mistaken, one of the issues that might cause that. But it's kind of hard to see unless I can actually again, take a look at the actual gas blowback pistol itself. Yeah, I would definitely need to go and take a look at that. If anything, you can DM us on Discord, Instagram, Facebook with pictures of what the internals look like, and maybe even a video too of what happens. That we can get a better idea. Just so we can properly give you the correct troubleshoots to get you sorted out, bro. That comes from Joshua AB. Next question. Driving right now, listening though. Be outdoor airsoft. BB Wars Coastal Front was so fun. Outdoors and airsoft. It was cool that you went. Did we get a chance to talk? I wasn't too sure what you were wearing. But yeah, you're right. Coastal Front was dope, bro. Guys, also, if you didn't know, we also have another BB Wars scheduled out for SoCal as well. Oh, I'm gonna type it in right here. All you guys got to do, type in BB Wars, right? And it's gonna be Arid Revival. It's gonna be held at SC Village, so it's gonna be very, very close, very, very conveniently located for many players within the current area, right? It's very, very cool that SC Village was able to go ahead and open up a spot for us. Tickets are available, $50 each side, right? Whether you go as the Empire or as the Rebels. It's going to be super dope. Obviously, thank you, Lance Chadwick, for sponsoring the event, and SC Village for allowing us to host the event there. But yeah, it's going to be super dope. Remember, order one of these tickets because definitely it's over $20 for sure. You're going to be getting an entry into the shopping spree giveaway as well, and that's a chance of winning $1,200. But yeah, dude, that's going to be super fun. That's going to be super, super fun. If you guys enjoyed Coastal Front, you're going to enjoy this one as well. Hey, make sure I'm not missing anything. Answer that one. What's up, dude? What's up, Steel Rider? How you doing? Fidel, did you just get a haircut? Looking sharp. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I actually did get a haircut recently, although I got it last week, though. I actually just cut it like on Sunday last. Yeah, I think it was like this Sunday that I just passed. I actually cut my own hair. For the last couple years, I've been cutting my own hair too. Kermit the Depressed Frog, what are your thoughts on the here's the thing when it comes to like I don't really trust other other websites like that, right? Especially when it comes to repros and stuff. What I would recommend, honestly, when it comes to getting all your airsoft goodies, shop at Airsoft Job because we carry everything that you need, right? In addition, we also give you a warranty too. A lot of these like companies, when you order from like other sites, you might not actually get a warranty with your product, right? That you end up ordering. With us, especially depending on the item, the warranty can vary, but you are going to be getting a warranty with us, and we can definitely help you out. Where I've gone that route as well, and before I started working here, and it didn't end up well for me. Kermit the Frog, Kermit the Depressed Frog. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, cool. Should be good. All right, let's get up to the most recent questions. All right, cool. Chef Panda Kage, what's going on, bro? What's up, man? Working but trying to listen in right now. Hey, man, appreciate that you're listening. Outdoors and Airsoft. Why is my gun's FPS going down? Okay, so Outdoors and Airsoft. There could be a lot of things that come into play, right? It can depend on if you have to measure with the same gram BB, right? Obviously, if you're going to go with a heavier weight BB going from a 2.0 to like maybe a 3.0, yeah, you will notice on a chronograph it will read lower. If your FPS, though, if you're using the same BB and it's just been going down over the past, however long you've had the gun for, then yeah, it could be that you're just wearing down the spring. That does happen. You could wear down the actual spring itself. That is a thing that happens. It's like springs on a mattress, right? Over time, springs do wear down. You can definitely go ahead and swap that out. Or the other thing that might be going on is you might be having some compression issues. That's actually a fairly, common thing that can happen to some guns. Or just think like compressions components, just either seals are no longer really sealing, they're not doing their job anymore, and they need to be swapped out. Maybe the air nozzle might be something going on there. It could be a number of things, but that can definitely be an option. Is that some of the compression components might not or they just be worn out, and they might need a replacement. Yeah, that would be one reason why the FPS could be going. Again, there could be a number of reasons. Any one of those could be the cause of it. Okay, Whiskey, what are some good beginner guns around the 200, 250 that come wired to Deans? Ooh, that's an interesting one. That come pre-wired to Deans. For the 250 price point, I'm going to have to say there's probably two brands. The two that come to mind immediately are going to be the KWA Originals. Bear in mind, not all of them are 250. Most of them are, but not all. And the Lance Tactical Gen 3s. Some of the lower end, some of the more affordable Gen 3s are going to come right out of the box pre-wired to Deans, which is really, really cool, right? I know some of the, some of the Gen 3s are going to be in that price point. So we can take a look, actually. Go Airsoft AEG, right? We'll go Lance Tactical Gen 3. We'll start off there because it's the close one. We'll go from low to high. If we're going Gen 3 specifically. Yeah, some of the Gen 3s you can even get for less than $200 right now. Like this one right here, this LTO2, that one's going for like $196.98. That was really good. That's a really good price for a Gen 3. Again, considering you are getting a solid build, 603 Type bore inner barrel, rotary style hop chamber, quick change spring system. You actually get with all the Gen 3s, all of them, right? You are going to be getting the lower FPS spring right out of the box, right? I think out of the box they are shooting like closer to like 380, 390 FPS, but you can definitely swap that out because again, it's a true quick change spring system and the pre-installed Nebula MOSFET, which is really, really dope, right? You're getting that for less than $200. That's a steal right there, buddy. That's a steal right there. But there are some that are under the 250 price mark as well, right? Like 214, you can get some of these. Some of these are still on a shocker deal. Damn, that's really fucking good. That's really good, right? So any one of the Gen 3s, because they're going to be essentially using the exact same gearbox. They're going to be the same gun. It's just a matter of what variation you like. Do you like the Picatinny rail system? Do you like a more streamlined M-Lock or key mod rail? You know, they have options for you. Any one of the Gen 3s within that price range will do you just fine, right? The other one that I'd probably suggest would be KWA Original. So KWA Original. There we go. Type that in. The keyboard's at a weird place, so it's kind of hard to type. Yeah, any one of the KWA Originals. Ooh, that's right. These are also on a shocker deal right now. Damn. These are nice, man. Fucking KWA Ava 4, right? The PDW. That's probably one of the better, in my opinion, one of the best looking ones. That one's going for $232.50. Fuck, dude. And that's on a shocker deal. Meaning that discount is not forever, man. That discount is very much temporary. Like once that time frame is up, that timer's out, that's it. That deal's done. Like that's not coming back. All right, so make sure you take advantage of that while you can, right? And again, all these guns are going to be the exact same. It's going to be the main difference is the type of magazine it takes and the length overall, right? Like the Eve 9 obviously is going to be one of the longer of the KWA originals. That one is slightly over budget, but it's not too bad actually. $260, that's still really good. Even regular retail, $280 was like a really good steal for that gun. But yeah, these, the Lucy, the Rain, the Ava, that's really good. You can get the Scarlet. Well, Scarlet's $260, but even that still, I still think that's a really good deal, right? I'd highly recommend jumping on one of those too. They won't come included with batteries and chargers, but again, batteries and chargers that you get out of the box sometimes are not always the best anyway. Most people usually swap them out for like a nicer quality LiPo anyway, so there you go. And these guys offer plenty of good battery space actually, surprisingly. Okay, let's see here. Okay, this one comes from DSO07. DSO07, you wouldn't happen to also be part of like the DSO team that plays here locally at SoCal, right? That does a lot of like stuff that is it TAC and one and do you guys go to Wildlands? Is Kevin part of your team? Is this Kevin? I'm just kidding. Well, either way. DSO07. Is there any Airsoft AEG that can fit a real handguard like the Casv from Viltor? I wanted to make a Tarkov juice cannon build. When it comes to like real handguards on there, on the FAL, I don't know because I haven't tried it honestly. I've never tried fitting a real handguard onto an Airsoft FAL, specifically an AEG FAL. I mean, like anything that comes in like Airsoft and just firearms in general, right? The one thing I've always learned, and then from a lot of techs that I hear that have experience in both real firearms and also Airsoft teching, we'll say the same thing, that it's a lot, like anything can work. How much fitment required to get it to fit is going to vary from case to case to case, right? So I'm not too sure how easy it would be to get a real one and put it on an AEG FAL, but hey, anything's possible, right? I'm sure with a Dremel, some sandpaper, right? Anything's possible. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and go down to the most recent questions. Okay, cool. We're based in Western New York. We play in Buffalo. And okay, sorry about for the confusion. The only reason I asked that was because there's literally a team that we actually play with, and that usually will pair up with us for my team as well when we do Muslim events called DSO. And I was wondering if you guys were the same team. Okay. LT35 is wired to Dean's for 26. That comes from Drexen. Yeah, let's take a look at that. LT35. Yeah, that's another option as well. Yeah, the Gen 2 Battle X. These things are nice, man. Oh, and they're on a shocker deal too. That's right. They're $187.68. That's a really good fucking steal for that. And these are using, again, the standard Gen 2 gearboxes, right? So it's the standard version 2 gearbox, rotary style hop chamber, 603 Type 4 inner barrel, quick change spring system. It is pre-wired to Dean's. It does, though, come included with a Dean's adapter, too, just in case you wanted to run a Tamiya battery. It'll come with it, but, you just save that if you really want to. I personally would rather just go with a Dean's battery right out of the box. But, to be fair, there are not too many batteries, Airsoft-wise, right, that come right out of the box pre-wired to Dean's, I will say. However, if you guys do want stuff to be wired to Dean's, we do offer a Dean's Rewire service on the website. It's like $5. Okay. Make sure. Oh, this one comes from Manuel Chief Torres. What accessory should I buy for my Gen 3 LT32 for a pretty nice look? Well, Manuel, it really depends on what it is that you're into, right? Let's type this in. LT32, right? It really depends on ultimately what it is that you like and what you think looks cool, right? Now, for some players, going with this kind of setup, let's take a look at this field ready combo, right? Let's take a look at this combo, just to give you an example, right? This is a nice setup. I personally think this is a really, really clean setup. It doesn't require too much. It's very simple, very well done, I would say. However, for some people, this is not enough accessories, right? Or maybe it's the wrong type of accessories that you should get, right? It really all depends ultimately on what you like. Yes, there are like very specific applications for certain type of, let's say optics, for example, right? We'll go down that route. You want to go optics, right? Let's go accessories. You'll notice that we actually divide up the different types of optics, right? There's the red, green electronic sights. We also have fixed power magnified optics, and then we also have rifle scopes as well, because all three of these are different categories or different styles of optics that you can get, right? Normally, what I would suggest, like if you're going for like a red, green, nuts, like let's say like a T1, right? Like this guy on this picture, right? You go with something like that. That's definitely going to work very well for, like, I would say a good all-rounder optic. It is going to, though, if I had to say there was a specialty, it would definitely be more like CQB, more closer range engagements, maybe up to medium range engagements, right? And generally, but the design itself isn't perfect. The tube style, I feel, definitely can hinder a player because it's very easy to fall into like a tunnel vision type mode, right? You're very focused on this one side, and it takes a lot of training to keep both eyes open so you don't block off your peripherals. But for a lot of people, that's really tough, right? Because it's a closed tube, your peripheral like might end up being closed off entirely, right? If you don't have the training or if you're not really actively trying to keep your eyes open, right? Alternatively, you can go with something like, say, a reflex sight, right? Reflex sights, like, again, this doesn't have to be this exact color. Again, this is just the one that I pulled up. I think it looks cool, but I know some people aren't big fans of the colors. But something along this design, is very, very cool for really fast target acquisition, right? Pop up and shoot. The sight picture is nice and large, which I do like. I like nice big sight pictures. Now, with that said, these style optics, both of these are not going to be the best suited for like engaging targets that are much further away, right? They're just not, because at the end of the day, it is just either a simple crosshair or a simple dot that you're getting. Now, if you wanted something with magnifications, yeah, you can get with something like fixed powered magnified optics, right? That's one option that you can go with, right? Some of these you actually can swap out, like say this LCAN, for example, right? Or various other like LPVOAs or short dots that exist out there, right? You can choose magnification. This one specifically is 1 times magnified to 4 times magnification. It helps to go ahead and see further down range and see where those farther out shots are going. And they make optics like rifle scopes, for example, right, that you can see even further if you really wanted to, right? We're talking like 9 times magnification. That is definitely a thing, right? There's many, many different options that are available on the site, and it really ultimately depends on what you like. But for other accessories, I should say, like grips, for example, also another what you think looks cool and what you think is going to be the most comfortable for you. Now, for me, when it comes to foregrips, I am very much a fan of like an AFG or like an angled foregrip of some kind, right? Like this, for example, right here. This design is probably one of my favorite style, like angle grips or just grips in general that you can get, right? I love these. They're super cheap. They're super affordable. They're not super heavy. They're very lightweight. They are a bit, now this is the downside, they are a bit chunky. This came out in a time where Picatinny was the rail system that you went with, right? M-Lock and Keymon just weren't a thing yet. At least not to the extent that it is today, right? So this whole kind of streamlined, minimalist approach to design wasn't fully there. This I already felt was like pretty cool, and it's very, very comfy. But, that's one option. You can get, let's say, like a vertical grip, right? Cisco and I would probably both agree that the vertical grip itself is probably one of the more, like, I guess, versatile designs that you can get in Airsoft, right? Or even just firearms in general, because there's a lot of things that you can do with it, right? Just make sure, regardless of what foregrip you get or accessory, know what type of rail system it's going to attach to. If you had Picatinny, M-Lock, Keymod, that's always important, because it would suck if you have, like, you say your LT35, right, using an M-Lock rail. If you bought a grip that was for Keymod, right, that would really suck. And it was designed for Keymod only. That would really, really suck. You'd have to really modify that in order for it to work for an M-Lock, right, if that's even possible. But yeah, just make sure you know in the right one. Flashlights are completely optional. It depends on whether or not you're playing in a dark setting. If you are, or if you're going to be going in areas that might be low lit, definitely. Though I actually prefer trace units over flashlights. But again, that's just a personal preference. Yes, sir. You want outdoors and Airsoft. You want to go Empire? Hey, yay, man. Empire's where it's at, baby. Here's the thing. For those that you don't know, whenever it comes to like BB Wars events, right? usually Rebels outnumber Empire, right? And that makes me happy, right? Because originally I was gonna be Empire, but Boss Man literally told me, like literally on a stream. You can ask some of the viewers that were there, that he called me because he said, no, you're going Empire, and I was like, oh well, I guess I'm going Empire then, right? He told me right then and there. Empire's a vibe, man. Empire is a vibe. It's pretty cool. I like the idea of being outnumbered. That's the thing. I've always liked that idea. Even when it comes to Milsim events, I like the idea of being outnumbered. One, it gives me more targets to shoot at. Two, it kind of just adds to the stakes, you know? Like, it really keeps you on your toes. Like, I need to be on my guard. I need to be on my guard and make sure that I'm watching every single corner and make sure no one gets a jump on me. I really got to like emphasize working, and that's what I think the Empire really excels at. The Empire really excels at communicating with the team and really going for the objective. Rebels, from what I've noticed and from what Cisco tells me, Rebels are definitely more focused on kills and using a lot of like, from what it seems like, very very much like the swarm mentality, right? Oh, there they are! Everyone just wave rush, right? Everyone just goes after it. But I feel like as just being on the Empire, my experience, right, and from what Cisco and Boas have told me, being on the Empire is definitely a vibe. I definitely am. Whatever side you end up going for, honestly, you're going to have fun. All right, let's go on to the most recent questions. This one comes from Miss Blue 3131. What do you think happens if an airsoft gun shoots a gamma ray? Well, the only thing I know about, if I'm not mistaken, gamma radiation was what created the Incredible Hulk. So I don't know if we're gonna end up creating a bunch of fucking superheroes. You know, maybe. I don't know. You have M-Lock? Yeah, you have a Bifrost. Yeah, I have a Bifrost too, dude. I love my Bifrost. My Bifrost is cool. It's so cool. Okay, this one comes from James Chilikas. Kalishnikov LT, I can't speak, LTKR 104S. What type of accessories I can put on it, and can I put trace unit on? What type of battery can I use for it? Okay, James, let's go ahead and take a look at the KR-104S. Why don't we? I'm actually a big fan of the Kalishnikov USA license stuff. They're very nice. They are very nice. This makes it so easy, too, for guys to start getting into, like, Milsim. If you wanted to go, like, the Rus 4 route, or, like, Russian, or even Militia, like, this makes it very, very easy, right, to get started. Let's go KR-104S. All right, let's go here. 104S, right? Okay, so when it comes to what sort of accessories you can go ahead and take on this bad boy, well, bear in mind, the AK platform itself is not going to be as modular as the AR. Now, with that said, times have definitely gotten better for the AK platform, right? You see, okay, I don't know if you can see it right here. The picture obviously doesn't do it very much justice, but if you notice, there is going to be, from what it looks like, there is going to be a side mount for optic cover. So basically, the dust cover on top, right? There's nothing. It's plain. You're not able to go ahead and put any sort of accessories on top. However, there do exist AK side mounts that you can get that fit right on top here, right? That'll fit right on the side, right on top of this little plate here that you end up getting, and that will give you a Picatinny segment right up on the top of the dust cover, right? So you can rock an optic of your choice, right, or other accessories. Handguards as well. We actually do sell different handguards online. Just bear in mind, when it comes to AKs, a lot of times it does require some fitment in order to get it to work if it's not ultimately designed, like specifically designed for that specific brand and model. It can take some work. However, people do it all the time, man. You know, the AK fandom out there in the AK community, they're very, very determined to get shit to fit, right? And that's just kind of a given when rocking an AK, right? There is always going to be a little bit of fitment that's required. That's even goes for magazines, because you would think just like the M4, right? Doesn't matter what brand you go with, they'll for the most part all work. Not always with AKs. There's actually a little bit of fitment that is required with AKs as well. Now, with that said, I haven't noticed any sort of pickiness with the Kalishnikov USA license stuff yet. I haven't noticed that it's like any more picky. It's nowhere near as bad, honestly, as LCT. LCT is one of the worst, honestly. I love LCT as a brand. I think their stuff is dope. But man, like, why they gotta be so picky with magazines and parts, man? They gotta be real fucking not like internal gearbox wise. I'm talking about like body wise, like external stuff. It's very specific, right? But as far as battery, this one is going to be wired on to the top. So the battery compartment is going to be on top of the gearbox. So you got to remove the dust cover in order to access it. Usually what I would recommend for that, for me personally, I'd go with an 11.1, but you can go a 7.4 if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Personally, I like the performance that I get with the 11.1. However, it can put more strain on the internals. So just keep that in mind. For me, yeah, I'd probably go with something like this. Probably go with the Echo one, 1100 milliamperage. These are really thin sticks. Basically, any really, really thin, long, and narrow LiPo battery is going to be the most ideal for that type. And just AKs in general, right? And sometimes you do get a cavity inside, like where you stuff it into, right? So you can put it further into like where the right underneath the sight would be, underneath where the leaf sight, the placement is. That there's actually a cavity inside of that, so you can dig it in even further. But sometimes the cavity isn't big enough to accommodate batteries. This one seems to work with pretty much everything. I would recommend personally going with one of these, honestly. But again, that's an individual preference. If you are going to run LiPo batteries, if you are a newer player, James, I would normally suggest you go buy the charger as well if you don't already have one. Because remember, you cannot charge a LiPo battery with a nickel metal hydrate or other type of charger. You will get a ball of fire and it will explode. Ask me how I know. Okay, this one comes from CJ Trooper 377. Hey, my metal flash hider is stuck on my threaded barrel. And I can't get it off. Any tips? If it's a metal flash, I'm assuming. Okay, bear in mind, we have to go and say this. If your metal flash hider happens to be the orange flash hider, that is, what you normally find when you buy an airsoft gun stock. We technically cannot tell you how to remove it. Technically, because it is against the law, we are required. It is technically a federal law to kill it and keep it on. However, with that said, does anyone really enforce it? Not really. If it's not, usually if it's like seems to be stuck on there no matter what, that usually either tells me that there's either adhesive underneath, or when you thread it on, if it's like an aftermarket one, when you thread it on, you might have accidentally cross-threaded it. Potentially, that could be a thing, right? Where it's not the right size and direction, or it's not the right direction or pitch, and you end up like just getting it stuck on there. And now it's kind of crooked. That might be a thing. Yeah, honestly, there's not really too much you can do outside of try to force it to get off, honestly. But again, I would say there are plenty of YouTube tutorials on how to do that. That's what I'll say there. Run an ARP 9210. Hey, good gun, good gun. My friend has a Battle X, very good gun. Yeah, absolutely it is. Casually opposite side of the country. DSO 7. Our DSO stand for Dark Storm Operators. Appreciate the input. Yeah, no, that's that's like the first thing was like, oh, are you guys part of that team? That sounds cool. That's a cool name. Let's see here. Outdoor Airsoft. I play at US Airsoft World. Oh, okay, cool. So you're a regular. All right, good to know. By the way, outdoor and airsoft, I want to know, because this has been something that was on my mind. We really wanted to leave as Airsoft GI, Cisco, Boaz, Bossman, and myself, and a lot of the regulars that came with us. All the Mayo Gang. When we came out to outdoors and airsoft, we really wanted to leave a really good impression at the field and at your guys' community. And we just wanted to first of all, I wanted to say thank you, first of all, for even welcoming us there. We heard what Frank, the owner, was saying, that, that you guys were excited to have us there. But hopefully we were able to go ahead and, host a really good event. You said you had a lot of fun. I'm glad. But, I want to see, I want to ask, as a community, right, that you are a part of, do you think we left a good impression there? Do you think that, you guys would be welcoming to have us, say, maybe do another BB Wars event there, Coastal Front Part 2, potentially? Let me know. Okay, let's go ahead and scroll down to the most recent questions. Okay, this one comes from Jake Amir, stuck between a Raven Glock. Oh, Raven Glock or getting okay, first and only gun, any advice? Usually what I would say between all of them, usually, I'm going to say, you can definitely access, and this goes for pretty much any, I would recommend you go with the optics from Airsoft GI more than anything. But Jake, to answer your question, you can accessorize your ENL AK if you wanted to. However, honestly, I kind of like the idea of rocking a sidearm, to be honest. Because here's the thing, AKs, in my opinion, and this goes for a lot of guns, right? Even ARs to an extent, right? I actually like rocking guns completely stock sometimes. I think rocking them without any sort of accessories other than the iron sights that they were issued sometimes is a vibe. I genuinely think so. And I think AKs actually look the best when they don't have any sort of... I'm kind of a boomer, right? My AK that I have right now and my RPK, they are bare bones, right? They are literally bare bones. On my RPK, I have a drum mag when I want to just play more casually, but on my AK and on my... I'm rocking an AK-47, right? When it comes to a rifle, and for my RPK, I still got the wood furniture on there, right? Like, I am as plain Jane as they come when it comes to my AKs. But honestly, I like that. I think the sights you get on an AK are solid enough, right? I think it's a great gun as is, and it doesn't really need a whole lot of access. Now, obviously, if you want to accessorize it, by all means, go for it, right? There are plenty of options. But honestly, rocking a sidearm can be very, very helpful. If you're playing at a field, even if you're playing at an outdoor field, there are some outdoor fields that will insist on, hey, if you want to shoot someone like in this CQB portion of the map, you have to do it with a sidearm, or it's just, it's just common courtesy, right? You don't want to shoot if there's no minimum engagement distance, for example, right? Do you really want to shoot someone with a 400, FPS, close to 400 FPS gun, or would you rather shoot them with a sidearm that's going to be under 350? Personally, for me, when I have my sidearm on me, and I'm in a CQB section of the map, and I got my 249, I will always, or even my DMR, I will always swap out to my sidearm, just because it is the courteous thing to do, So between a Raven or a Glock, honestly, it really comes down to individual preference. If you want something that's like, I guess officially licensed, then I would say, yeah, definitely go for like the Elite Force Glocks. Those things are really dope. Here, we can type that in, Elite Force. Going Elite Force Glock, right? There's so many different versions, right? And if you want a custom Cerakoted one, you can as well, right? Yeah, there's a ton that you can get. Oh, ooh, the Glock 42 subcompact is on a shocker deal. What? Take a look at that. That is actually really fucking cool. 167. That's actually really good. I actually like the Glock 42 a lot. I actually really dig compact and subcompact pistols. I think they're the coolest, man. But again, that's an individual preference. There are many different types of Glocks that you can go ahead and get, right? There are some that are available in combos as well. There's a Glock 17 Gen 5. That one's on a shocker deal. Gen 3. Again, there's these Glock 34 Gen 4. You can get the 45 if you wanted to. The 18C. 18C's on a shocker deal. Fuck, guys. That's cool. This is the full auto one. That's fucking cool. And it's cool about the 18C. It actually comes included with the Extendo Mag too. However, even then, they are still considered a little bit more expensive compared to other gas-well pistols, especially when you look at Vorsk or Raven. If you're trying to save a little bit of money, I would say go for Vorsk or Raven. Right? You can go with one of those. Let's say like Raven, right? Especially if you're getting a Raven gas-well pistol or Vorsk pistol where it comes included with a pre-installed red dot. That's actually banging. That's really fucking cool because those are cheap as well. Those are really fucking cheap. Look at that. You can get the 4.3 with the pre-installed micro red dot for $125. Like, that is a hell of a good deal. A hell of a good deal, honestly. Personally, I would go with that route, but Jake Amir, it really depends ultimately on what you want to go with. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Fidel. Imperials. Pimperial. Nice. Whiskey, is it possible to order the Proline Mark 18 and have it wired to Dean's before it is shipped? Yeah, that goes for any airsoft gun. If you want your airsoft gun pre-wired to Dean's, Whiskey, and everyone else in the chat, we sell a Dean's rewiring. Here, you know what? I'm going to... Dean's service. Actually, I think it just showed up. Dean's plug installation. There we go. Dean's plug installation right there, right? It is $5. You order that with any gun, right? And you can even put in the note section, if you really want to make sure that, because we do read the note section. Like, can you please rewire my gun to Dean's? You can put that if you want to. Though if we see that and we see a gun, we know it's going to be for that, right? Obviously, it's going to be for the gun itself. But you can do that for any airsoft gun, for any battery. Just bear in mind, this only counts for one installation, one set of Deans. So if you wanted to get a battery and a gun and neither of them were wired to Deans and you wanted them both to Deans, you have to get 2 of the Deans plugs installation because it's per connector. So that can apply towards anything. Okay, let's see here. Make sure everything. What company makes the best MP5? Villain X Trifi. So when it comes to MP5, the only company that legally has the rights to make a replica like HK, pretty much anything HK, is actually going to be Elite Force, right? Elite Force, they were the only ones that were able to have it. So if you type in, let's see, MP5, right? Type in MP5. Elite Force is going to make, and they make several different versions, right? I know they have their competition series. Right. They also have of course, their nicer end ones, right? Especially the ones that are OEM by VFC, where they're using the same gearbox as their Avalon series, right? Those are always really, really dope. Those are some of the better MP5s that are on the market. It does suck because there's not a whole lot that exists in the U.S. market as of right now. A lot of times, bear in mind, a lot of companies are still making their own versions of guns, right? But they just might not be officially licensed, so they can't really import them into the U.S., right? You can try ordering one internationally, right? But the problem is most of the time what ends up happening is they get seized by customs, right? That's why, again, we always recommend going through Airsoft GI for all your airsoft needs. But I will say this, though. If you were looking for a solid performing MP5, maybe look-alike, right? Type this in, ACW Spectre. Type that in for me. This is, let's be real. This is an MP5. Obviously it looks different enough, but like, I'm just gonna say, you take off certain components of the body of the furniture that you have and swap it out with regular one. That is and it works too. This is compatible with MP5 furniture, right? It is compatible with MP5 magazines as well, right? So any MK5, MP5 style magazines will work on this bad boy as well. But it is using the LT35 BattleX stock, right? So which I think is pretty cool. And the handguard's already M-LOK. And it already comes included with the Picatinny up top, right? So you can go ahead and just start accessorizing as is. And it's affordable, $204. $204 is actually not bad, all things considered, right? Definitely a lot more affordable compared to like the MP5, like the officially licensed VFC ones, right? These are definitely a lot more affordable, a lot more attainable, and they're still using a standard version 2 gearbox, which means you can upgrade these gearboxes with pretty much anything that you want internally, right? You want to put a gate tighten in there? Fuck it. Go for it, man. Go for it, dude. All individual preference at the end of the day. Or if you really did like externally want to make this just look exactly like your traditional MP5 with the, triangular handguard and the regular stock, the full stock, absolutely you can. It is compatible. I have tested. I think the stock might need a little bit of fitment, but it will work. It will work. Okay, make sure. iDanny15. What I would say at that point, make sure to go ahead. Remember, there is a warranty that actually comes included with that. Remember, every once in a while you will get like a gun, just once every a couple 100,000 units, right? You will get the one that might that has maybe a magazine that might just be a little off. You can definitely have get a warranty with that. Remember, Elite Force does offer a warranty on their products as well, and we also offer a warranty as well. So if you're having issues with your stuff, man, you order it from us. Yeah, DM us, man. DM us directly. We can get you helped out, no problem. Okay, let's see here. All right, cool. Should be caught up. Oh, this one comes from Fubar308. Howdy from New Zealand. Hey, what's going on, man? All right. Sure. Okay, what's the difference between Lance Tactical Helion versus the Archon? The Helion and the Archon series are going to be slightly different. It's mostly going to be like the externals, really, at the end of the day. Again, depends on whether we're talking about the Gen 2 or Gen 3. I believe for the Archon series, the Archons are... Well, no, yeah, even then. It's mostly going to be the externals. The Archon series, the Archon NSR, they are supposed to be using the NSR furniture, right? That's supposed to be used right now. I think currently... It's supposed to be paired with 300 Blackout, and that's only in use with DevGru, right? Versus the Helion is its own kind of design. Yeah, that's sort of the main differences, honestly. And of course, whether you're talking about the Gen 2, Gen 3, if it's a Gen 2, you'll get the Gen 2 internals. If it's using the Gen 2 internals for the Archon, you are going to be getting a pre-installed ETU, standard version 2 gearbox, all that same stuff. Versus if it's a Gen 3, you are going to be getting the Nebula MOSFET instead of the Lancer ETU, which is programmable. Okay. Kid with Guns, what is your opinion on UK arms? UK, it depends on what we're talking about. I don't like to I don't always like to go with solely just based off the brand. UK arms, there's a lot of stuff that's under the UK arms umbrella. Remember, a lot of this stuff is coming from the same factory. A lot of this stuff is coming from the same factory, right? So, there are freaking MG42s, right, that are, technically speaking, under the UK arms, right? A and K, right? I believe that comes from the same factory as UK arms because a lot of times you'll get them in the same boxes, right? So it really depends ultimately what we're talking about. So I don't really have too much of an opinion. It's more so I like to base it more so on the model that I receive or model that I'm looking at. Mine is pretty bare. Just got a Sling Ghetto tape double magazine. Yeah, man, that's the way to do it. That is a vibe. Here's the thing. Ghetto setups for airsoft guns, especially AKs, if you're trying to do a militia or some type of Op 4 loadout, That is 100% a vibe. Then I am for that. I am 100% for that. Ackright, queso is my favorite boomer. Yes, I am everyone's favorite 27-year-old boomer. Yes, Frank is my favorite dude. Dude, Frank's the best, man. Frank is fucking cool. We did that interview with him, and we actually put it up on our main YouTube channel. He's just such a sweetheart, man. He's such a sweetheart. He's so cool. Let's see here. Yeah, for sure, dude. You guys rock, and the giveaways were fire. I'm glad you guys really enjoyed the giveaways. We really wanted to make sure that we gave away some dope stuff too. Obviously, outside of Cisco throwing out BBs like crazy, right? The guy who won that Sidearms P Plus, like, damn, man, that guy is fucking lucky, man. That is a fucking great gun that he ended up winning. And in UN, what is 2 plus 2? Trick question. It's 22. All right, moving on. Let's go down to the most recent questions. Okay, that should be the most recent questions. All right, so guys, remember, I'm going to use this time to go ahead and plug. Make sure to go ahead and place your orders for an Independence Day mystery box and get yourself 10 entries into the Shopping Spree giveaway. Again, we do the Shopping Spree giveaway every week, right? This Thursday is going to be the next one coming up. It is going to be for $1,200. It's $1,200 that you could win. $1,200 that you could win literally just by placing a $20 order. But why not? Why not just increase your odds as much as possible and get yourself 10 entries, right? Again, Independence Day mystery box, $170, and you automatically get free shipping too. That alone honestly caught my attention. Like if I was someone that wasn't working for GI, even if someone works for GI, right? But even if I wasn't, right, and I just happened to hear that, you get a mystery box for $170 where you get all dope guns and automatic free shipping, right? You have my attention, good sir. But now you're telling me I get 10 chances to win $1,200 on top of that? That's fucking dope, right? But again, that pretty much goes for anything on our website, right? We're literally the only airsoft retailer that wants to give back this much to the community, right? We don't really make, I'll be honest with you guys, we don't really make much, if anything, on mystery boxes. We do that for you guys. Same thing with like whenever we host events like BB Wars, the giveaways themselves, like that's literally all just to give back to the community. Because again, Airsoft GI has been around for 20 years, and we plan on being around for another 20, even beyond that, right? But it wouldn't be possible without the support that you guys are able to give us. Obviously, through orders, through ordering and supporting Airsoft GI, through watching and viewing our YouTube content, including this live stream, right? Which you haven't already. Make sure to go ahead and share this live stream around. You guys know any newer players hoping to get into this. Make sure to send them our way. We'll help them out. But yeah, like we're the only ones that want to give back this much to the community. Because again, if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. Right, and hopefully we can be here for another 20, another 40 plus years, another 100 years, right? After that. So make sure to go ahead and place your order with Airsoft GI. Anything $20 or more, literally it could be BBs, it could be green gas, it could be any sort of accessory or even tactical gear. $20 or more, and you have yourself your entry. But if it's this Independence Day mystery box, you get 10. 10. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that we are caught up. All right. Yeah, you got like 4 bags of BBs. Dude, Cisco, that video was hilarious. We've actually posted this a while ago. This man was like, Cisco was just fucking tossing those BBs up in the air like crazy, like it was candy. All right, what's the best FPS gun? This one comes from YT Script. FPS gun. What is the best FPS gun? I'm actually not too sure what that question actually means. Do you mean like what's the, well, okay, I'll say this in general. When it comes to airsoft guns, there is generally no such thing as the best, right? Because I mean, I know that's not a very sexy answer, right? Like it's the best gun is this gun, right? And obviously, I have my opinions, like anyone else, right? We're all entitled to our own opinions. But I will say that there are some people that maybe are looking for things different, or maybe or have different search criteria, I should say, compared to someone else, right? I like very specific platforms. I like unique stuff, right? But not every player might be interested in that. Some players might only want to go with just an AR, right? And that's totally fine. That's their individual choice. And as far as FPS, I mean, FPS isn't really so much a bearing on like performance in general. It's literally just how hard can this chronograph, or how hard is the BB like going, right? Can the chronograph read? But even then, everywhere else measures it in joules, not FPS. I think we're the only ones that do it in FPS. But just saying. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. You're saying it. Well, it's not that Toki Marui like makes they do like. Here's the thing. brands like Toki Marui, like because they're the original, right? Yeah, they are gonna be making some good quality stuff, right? And there are some guns like the MWS, for example, that I feel like are like really, really good, right? There's just something magical about those guns that they have just crazy good range, um, even though they're actually considered fairly like weak in terms of FPS. But even then, that's just not a huge bearing on like performance in general. There are many different brands that like make MP5s. If you're still asking about that, there are many different brands that make MP5s, just not too many of them make it to the stateside because, again, licensing and what have you, right? All depends on licensing. Sure, not missing anything. All right. Okay, let's see. Make sure. Okay. This one comes from Arthur Wend. Hopefully, I'm saying your name, bro. I'm saying it correctly. Having an airsoft event in my private course this weekend. It's our first at Creekside Airsoft in Michigan, Midland, Michigan. What game plays you recommend? Ooh, this is a very outside play. Ooh, that's very, very cool. That's a very good question, Arthur. All right. Okay, I love these because I can go on for this one. Okay, so when it comes to like private events, right, or just like sort of any sort of airsoft event, try to take advantage of the fact that it is going to be like you know you do have control of that, right? I like to recommend going for definitely more objective based gameplay. Objective based gameplay is, oh, in my opinion, this is just my humble opinion, right, is always going to be superior to just regular force on force games. Force on force games can be fun. They absolutely can, right? Some of my favorite memories in Airsoft happened during Force on Forces games. However, you know, having an objective is definitely a great way to make an event memorable, right? Because if you're not doing like really cool scenarios or really cool like objective based gameplay, how is this event that you're hosting going to be any different from just like your regular walk-on game, right? You want the event to be successful, and you want to be able to go and potentially host this event again, right? The same thing for us, right? So I would say going with more an objective-based gameplay, that's going to be something that you can't go wrong with, right? Um, Maybe have some type of theme typically going on with it as well, right? Like maybe attackers versus defenders, right? That's always a really, really simple, because it is basically force on force, but with a twist on it, right? That's always going to be one. I would say game modes like even something as simple as like capture the flags, right? Those are always going to be really cool. What I personally like is sort of like I guess the traditional like conquest style gameplay, right? That you would get out of games like Battlefield. Well, the good Battlefields anyway, right? Going with like a conquest style like objective, right? Where you have several objectives on the map, and you have to go there and capture and hold those objectives. Those are probably going to be some of my favorite events, right? And at the end of the end of the timer, whoever has the most amount of, I guess, like CPs, command posts, or objectives captured is going to be the winner, right? That's got to be like one of the simplest in theory like game modes to do. Now, how you determine that can really change, right? It could be something like, oh yeah, you have this. I like what U.S. Airsoft Field has, or U.S. Airsoft World, where they had these like flags that you could swap. They literally just had pipes sticking out of the ground they were hauling, and you could stick a flag in there, right? And it's like, all right, this is our section, right? And then you swap that out, like okay, like there's map, there's or once that on that post you have two flags, right? One for each team. And if one is already objected or taken by one team, you can just swap out the flag right then and there, right, for the other team, and you have captured that objective. Just something like that, right? That alone is like simple. It can definitely be very cheap if you're talking about like materials as well. Just go to Home Depot, right? And just buy something that can hold a flag in place. It doesn't have to be super secure. You want to be able to just move it in and out and just make flags, right? That's literally the easiest thing in the world to do. Or just buy flags. You can literally buy packs of flags, right? Just in different colors. I would say make it easy to also have good IFF, right? Make sure it's easy to identify enemies and friendlies, right? So that you can avoid like just mass confusion on the field. That's like one really big thing that I always appreciate when an airsoft event or venue is able to do, or an organizer able to accomplish, when you can have like a different, maybe not a full uniform like requirement, right? Like one team, I think it is the best way to do it personally. One team goes with one camo, another team goes with a different camo. Now, with that said, I know that does make it more difficult for players to identify who's who. One thing that we did at a Milson West event, I think last year, it was a force on force event, was NATO troops like myself were issued blue tape, right? We were issued blue tape. So of course, we had our uniform requirements, but it was a lot easier to see when we had like literally like blue duct tape wrapped around our arms. Sometimes we'd have it on the straps on our plate carriers or our chest rigs. I did like like one on each side of my chest rig and then on my arms. Sometimes I would even do it on my legs too. That way there is no confusion as to what team I'm on. Maybe just do that. Have like instead of like the freaking the bands, like the ribbons, because those can easily just be missed, or sometimes they can just people will just cut them off. Just having duct tape wrapped around in a very specific color makes things very, very easy. Even at BB Wars, we actually did that too with a different color tape. It really helped identify who was who, so you're not shooting the wrong person. Okay, make sure. Okay, this one comes from Gruely Gaming. Hey yo, was thinking about buying this gun. Is it worth it? G9 Armaments SR15 with M-Lock handguard and Gen 2 SR15. Let's see. Let's go and take a look, right? SR15 E3. Let's go ahead and take a look. Personally, I actually do like G&G stuff. I used to be, back in the day, especially when I first started, I used to be a really, really big G&G fanboy, right? And because they were one of the few brands that I felt like, oh god, I I missed it. Dang it. SR, not AR, SR15, right? Okay, SR15 E3. There you go. Typo on my end. Oh no, we might not have it. All right. Well, okay. Basically, with the SR15, or basically any of the G&G stuff, right? I actually really like it. Again, Knight's Armament, so it's gonna be, it's gonna have those Gucci externals. It's gonna look really freaking nice, right? I like the SR15. I think it's a really cool gun. I think personally, well, even with the G2 gearbox, I think it's really dope, right? The G2 gearbox, the G2H gearbox, those are supposed to be some of the best gearboxes you can get out of G&G, and they're gonna be manufactured very, very well. Personally, I think there are better options out there. But if you were looking specifically for that Knight's Armament licensed SR15, G&G does have that. So if you were going with the trades in mind, then yes, I would say it is worth it. But if you didn't care for that and you were just going because I think it's a good gun, I would say that there are better guns, right? I would say that honestly, probably one of the best guns that you can get right now. For all my regulars, you already know what I'm going to pull up. MGC4, man. This has got to be like the best performing AEG that I've seen in a long time, right? Out of the box. Like, this thing is just fucking dope. This thing is super competitive, all as is, right? The rate of fire alone, right? Obviously, rate of fire that can be preferential, or that can be, hit or miss, because most fields don't even allow full auto on fields anymore anyway, right? But with that said, this is beating out some guns that are using a 16-to-1 ratio gear set. And this is still using 18-to-1s. Granted, they are more durable. They are the steel wire cut gear sets. The compression has been nice and tuned on this bad boy. These things are dope, man. I would say the MGC4 Mark II is probably the best AEG that you can get. That's higher end that you can go ahead and get. It's not licensed by anyone, so obviously you're saving a little bit of money there. Oh, apologies. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I would definitely recommend picking up one of these guys. And we also have them in different colorways too. If you didn't want the solid black, you can get the two-tone with the black and bronze. We do have the challenge kits that are available that are not going to have the final coat of paint on there. So it's a lot easier for you guys to go ahead and either Cerakote or maybe Hydro Dip, whatever process you want it to undergo, so you can start customizing and build it out. It's a blank canvas for you, basically. Then we also have the new bronze version, solid bronze. That one's going to be on pre-order. Same thing with the black and red and black and gold variations. But again, to answer your question, it is if you think so. That's literally the best way I can go ahead and answer it. It is if you believe so. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down. Make sure. Okay, this one comes from Arthur Winded. We'll be camping all weekend. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Camping and airsoft, that's the best, bro. That's the best. Flying Shamrock. Hey, I'm starting airsoft. I have a gun, sidearm, and mask. Is there anything else I need? Depends on the gun itself, right? If you're saying the gun is a sidearm, or if you're saying you have gun, comma, sidearm, it depends. Batteries and chargers if your gun is electric. Green gas, obviously, if you are rocking a gas-powered gun, or CO2 if it's CO2 powered. I would also say, if you don't have a holster for your sidearm, I would say definitely get a holster for it. That way it's a lot easier to go and carry it around. Maybe I'd even go as far as to say even some type of rig or plate carrier, right? Something to go ahead and carry around your magazines, right? That's something you carry around your magazines and other pieces of equipment. That would definitely be ideal, right? So something like, it doesn't even have to be super expensive either. You can go with, let's see. Oh, God, what is it? Whoa, sport chest rig, right? You can get something real dope for pretty cheap, like, say, one of these. Let's go with camo, right? Just because multicam. Why not? $42. This is probably one of the best chest rigs that you can go out and get, in my honest opinion. These are super lightweight, nice and durable. You know, they're going to last to the rigors of play. They already come included with the inserts for M4 magazines, and they're completely adjustable to whatever size. And they accept aftermarket components. So if, say, you wanted to put in a, say, like a dangler pouch, right? Like, let's see one of those, one of these guys. Let's see. Abdominal pouch. I'm praying I spelled that correctly. I did not, but you know what? I got close enough. One of these Wosport sub-abdominal chest rigs, pouches. These are really dope. I have several of these, right? I have several of these, and I use them for basically all of my plate carriers, right? These are so convenient, especially if you want someplace to carry like your phone, your wallet, and your keys, you know, all that shit you don't want in your actual pants pockets. I carry them in these pouches, right? And it's just hook and loop, so it literally sticks onto the back side of the chest rig because there is a hook and loop panel. You just got to remove the back panel itself, and it'll unveil the hook and loop side. Very easy to work with. Again, fully adjustable. You can do whatever you want with this bad boy. And there's other colorways as well. You can also go for a plate carrier if you want to. Plate carriers are going to be in my opinion, probably one of the coolest looking options. It is a little bit more bulk on your person. Now, with that said, you can still find a very comfortable chest rig and build it out to what it is that you like. I will say that a lot of times the plate carrier is the more expensive of the option. But again, it really depends on ultimately what brand and what model you want to go with and what style you're looking at, you know, and what pouches you need for it. Other than that, I would probably say you're pretty much set. I would say maybe tactical gear would just be like the next big jump, you know, next big leap to make sure you have your nice setup. You have everything and it's nice and convenient. You're not struggling to carry stuff in your pants pockets or something. All right, let's see here. Outdoors and airsoft, plate carrier vest. Yeah, that's outdoors and airsoft. That is the exact same thing. Plate carrier, chest rig, or some type of cross draw vest. Like that would be something that I would recommend, right? Just something to carry and make it easier for you logistically to carry all of your stuff, your magazines. Make sure I'm not missing anything. AR-15 and 1911. Yeah, that's exact. Yeah. So I would say battery charger, of course, if you don't already have that. If you are rocking a battery and charger, maybe I would say extra magazines too. That's another thing that I would highly recommend that you pick up. You can never go wrong with having a good like bundle, an armory of magazines. That is going to be very, very handy because magazines, here's the thing, over years, over time, magazines can get lost, even on fields, right? You could be like your first time playing and you could lose like maybe 2 of your magazines just because heat of the moment, you're not thinking, right? You're just trying to play. You got all that adrenaline going. You're not paying attention to the finer details. You could very well lose a magazine. So being able to have an abundance of magazines and stocking up is usually what I would recommend. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get good magazines. Take a look at this, right? High speed magazine. Yeah, we'll just go with individual. There you go. Waiting for that to load. You can get magazines like these high speed mags. These are dirt cheap. We're talking $11.99, $12 for one, right? These are super affordable. If you want one of the color variations, right, like the blue or the greens, obviously it's like $1 more. Okay, like $1 more, like whatever, right? But you can buy packs of these as well. You can buy 5 packs, and they're literally going for like 50, 60, yeah, $60, right? That's not bad. That is not bad at all. That's a really good deal, considering like you're getting 5 of them. So $10 a mag, yeah, hella worth it. Hella worth it, right? And these keep up with high rate of fire builds too. Right, we've seen customs like that are like shooting in like the freaking 50 RPS range, and these guys hold up. These guys can keep up with that rate of fire, surprisingly, especially considering how affordable they are. And they got the little MagPod, little base plate right there, so they can stand up on their own. That's cool. That's really cool. I would recommend picking up one of these, maybe one of those packs, you know. And again, it's definitely over $20 if you get a few of those, right? If you get the pack, you are going to be getting yourself an entry into next Thursday's shopping spree giveaway for $1,200. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to order yourself the Independence Day mystery box going right now on our website for just $170. We have like just 50 left. Make sure to place your orders before we completely sell out. Remember, you automatically get free shipping with this bad boy, right? This prize list is insane, right? R15s, PW9s, some Classic Army Scarabs in there, some KWA originals. I know the Ronin T10 was on here, some Kalashnikov USA license stuff. You got some Arcturus on there as well. You guys get a lot of like stuff on here. There's a lot of great prizes that you can win. And again, they're all going to be more expensive than the box itself, so it's already going to be a win. It's already a come up, no matter which way you look at it. And we'll throw in the bone, right? Throwing in a little extra, getting that 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. That 10 entries is honestly just fucking insane. $1,200 that you could win. Let's scroll down the most recent question. Okay. This one comes from Coop303. Hey, what's going on, Coop? I remember you yesterday. Coop303, what is the best cheap sidearm that you aren't going to use much? I mean, Coop, it depends on what you mean by that. You aren't going to use much. You aren't going to use much. Best, because when I think best cheap sidearm, I think like, okay, best performing sidearm that you could use, right? So why wouldn't you want to go and use it? Here's the thing, gas bolt pistols, using your sidearm, like switching to your sidearm, is really fun. Like it's in Airsoft, it's like super fun, right? One of my favorite like affordable pistols to recommend, if you're looking for something really cheap but has a lot of potential. Oops, sorry, I don't know why I'm so gassy right now. Golden Eagle. I haven't eaten anything. Golden Eagle 1911. There you go. Type that in. Scroll down here because there's gonna be a few options. Yeah, going with something like one of these bad boys, right? Like let's go click on this one, right? Right, you are getting, what is this gun, right? You are basically getting a fully TM spec 1911, full metal construction, right? Can take all the TM spec 1911 style magazines. So we're talking KJW, we're talking TM itself, Golden Eagle, right? Army Armament. There are so many different magazines. Echo One, right? There are so many different brand magazines that you can shop with, that you can get, right? Extended magazines for this guy. All the internal components are going to be completely swappable with TM spec 1911 internal components, upgrade parts. You can find those anywhere, and it's a very easy platform to work with, very similar to the High Kappa. In fact, some parts might actually be interchangeable, right? Very easy to upgrade this guy, very easy to find replacement parts, and very easy to find magazines, all for just $80.59, right? And these guns, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, honestly. Out of the box, they work very well. But again, they have a lot of potential. That's the big thing for me, is they have a lot of potential. It really makes it easy for a player who might not, be the most enthusiastic about getting a sidearm, get excited about getting a sidearm because it's affordable, and they're going to be able to do so much without having to spend an arm and a leg to build it out, right? And it works very well. You do get, on this one specifically, you do get the Picatinny lower rail, the lower accessory rail, so you can put on a flashlight, a tracer unit. Or, yeah, you can put a tracer unit on here, but you need to throw it out, bro. What am I saying? But a flashlight or a laser, if you really wanted to, they'll just make sure that the field you're playing with, or the field you're playing at, actually allows the use of lasers. I know some indoor fields actually don't. Yeah, freaking idiots ruined it for everyone. But yes, I would say that is one option you can go with. Another one that you can go with if you want to spend a little more, or actually, even before I get that one, would probably be Army Armament 1911. Army Armament's another good brand. They make TM spec stuff. I think their stuff is really dope, honestly. Right? Oh, look at that one. You can get it even cheaper, right? You get this classic like R31, right? This is like 2 world wars freaking 1911 here. 7625. That's really good. Like, that's actually really good. And again, this is still TM spec, so you can build this out to however you want, right? Obviously, this is a very classic, like A1 style, right? The OG. So there's not exactly a whole lot you can do to the externals outside of maybe the grip panels. But, you could theoretically change out the frame if you really wanted to, right? Swap it out for a different lower, essentially, right? And then you have yourself, again, you want to get a more modern one. You can do that. Changing out the slide is possible. Outer barrel. If you really want to put a tracer unit on here, you can, right? All for $76.25. That's also a really good fucking deal, right? If you want something a little more modern, you can go with the R32. This is my favorite one from them, the R32, right? Yeah, this guy's freaking sick, right? This I don't know why this two-tone of like tan and a black thrown in there just works. I don't know how. It shouldn't work, but it does, right? It's actually very comfy to hold in the hand. This sort of rubberized grip panel right here, very, very comfy, right? Feels very nice when it sits in the hand. Full metal construction, and you are getting the lower accessory rail for a flashlight or for a laser. And I believe these are thread protectors, so you actually do get a threaded outer barrel, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, if that's not the case, then okay, then yeah, you can just swap it out for a threaded outer barrel. Very easy to do so. I would highly recommend one of these. Oh, and it comes included with the extended base plate too. That's honestly another big cool thing about it. Extended magazine on here, very nice. Very, very nice. But again, if you wanted the easiest, like literally the easiest one to build out, you can go with either the Vorsk/Raven pistols, right? Let's say actually, let's go Raven. Oh, my back needs to stretch out a little. Here you go. The Raven Airsoft 4.3 high cap. And then you can get a 5.1 if you wanted to as well. But I like the 4.3. I like the compacts more. This 4.3 comes included. I'm not joking. Comes included with that red dot sight that you see on the picture pre-installed. It comes with it pre-installed right out of the box, meaning there's no work, there's no effort that you have to put into it in order to get it to work. It's just there. Just plug in a battery, and that's it, right? Obviously, it's going to use the CR2032s. CR2032s, yes. CR2032 batteries, which you can find anywhere. Insert that, and you have yourself a great pistol that is ripe for potential, right, with upgrade components, and already has the pre-installed red dot sight. And again, normal retail is already crazy, $135, $125 on a shocker deal. Fuck, dude, that's really good. Like, that's really, really good. Like, really, 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 really good. Personally, I would say go for one of these, right? Because that value is just there. It's just there, and it's really hard to beat that, you know? Arthur Windit fan goggles, I believe, should be first buy. I've never okay, I'll be honest. I've actually, the little experience I've had with like pre-built fans inside of your goggles, I've never really had the best experience with. I still end up fogging them. I still personally end up fogging them. But again, that could be just model to model. I know some of the newer ones are probably a lot better. Granted, this was like 5-6 years ago. But again, you could very well just go in and get a goggles with the pre-built fan. Yeah, I would say as long as it's properly vented, that's like the most important thing, right? That way, again, you're not like getting as much fog as you possibly could, right? Okay, let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything. This one comes from Gruely Gaming. What are some good options for an EBB gun, electric and M16 look? For electric blowback. Let's take a look. I think, well, it depends if you're looking for electric blowback or if you're looking for electric recoil, right? Personally, there's a couple different options that, are going to simulate like either a reciprocating bolt, right? Or just going to have or that are gas powered, right? And are actually going to function very similar to a real firearm. And actually give you recoil. You can't go wrong with gas blowbacks, right? Gas blowbacks are always going to be fun. Whether you're going with the Tokyo-Marui MWS, right? You're going with something like the MWS, right, system. We do have them for ARs, but they are sold out right now. Honestly, I don't blame them. The MWSs, they are hot. They are really fucking hot. But you can also go with the KWA LM4s, WeTex as well. I think, actually, I believe they have their gas M16. Right, they have their gas M16s. But as far as electric blowback specifically, or AEG, if you're just hoping to stick with the AEG, if you want like the AR, honestly, it's not technically speaking EBB. It is ERG. It's the Ronin T10. Let's go take a look. Actually, let's go RM4. Right, let's type in regular RM4. Oh yeah, the regular RM4s are sold out right now. Okay, so normally what I would suggest, right, is go with, honestly, you can't go wrong with the Ronin T10. It is what it is, right? The Ronin T10 is just fucking dope. Yes, it is a more expensive airsoft gun. I totally understand. However, I'm being serious. It is worth it. KWA Ronin T10 out of the box is solid. You don't need to do anything. Several guys on my team have actually taken the Ronin T10 completely stock, right? They'll just run an 11-1 with it. They'll take them stock to Milsim events and run them, and they work great. They work fantastic. Obviously, there are sorry about that. There are like one or two things that you could upgrade it, and those one or two things, bucking and inner barrel. That's about it. That's really all you need at the end of the day. The simulated recoil, the kinetic feedback that you get when shooting the Ronin T10 is just so nice. It's so satisfying too, right? I haven't fired a gun that feels that like close to it as far as like the satisfaction of like the recoil. The other option you can go with, another if you had a little bit more money to spend, right? You can go with the recoil shock. Yeah, you can definitely go with the NGRS next generation AEG. Next generation recoil shock, and it's on a shocker deal. Like, okay, that's okay. This let me time out for a second. Tokyo Marui being discounted is already kind of rare, right? It's already pretty freaking rare. The fact that it's on a shocker deal, what the fuck, right? What the fuck, right? That's insane. This M4A1, right? Very easy to turn into, believe it or not, an M16. You could very well do that. Turn this into a full M16 if you wanted to, and you have yourself an NGRS, a recoil shock M16. That'd be fucking dope. That'd be really fucking cool, right? That'd be another one, right? An AR platform that is going to have that electric blowback or like ERG sort of system to it. Those would probably be the ones that I would honestly suggest more than anything if you're looking for, again, just something to sort of give you that kinetic feedback or something that's going to be a little more realistic, right? While staying true to the AEG design. Okay. Oh god, there's a lot more questions. Including Gaming Gotcha, thanks for help. No, of course, man, of course. What is it? Okay, this one comes from ZNE Lures and Fish. Guys, also want to give a quick reminder, if you guys do want to ask your question, not giving any hate out there, but just make sure to put a letter Q in front of your question. That way I can definitely help you out, and it's easier for me to see the question. Remember, put the letter Q in front of your question. But with that said, let's get on with it. ZNE Lures and Fish, what is a good AK-47 to start? If you're looking for AKs, probably like if you wanted something that was like pretty good, like I guess it also depends too on your budget, right? Because technically speaking, any of them could be great to start with. It really depends on ultimately what you're looking for. I guess ultimately it depends on your budget. If you had a budget of less than $200, you could not spend more than $200, right? I misspelled that. Kalashnikov USA. All right. Yeah. Probably one of the better ones to start off with be the Kalashnikov USA license stuff, right? Their licensed KRs, 103s, 104s, 103F, like all of these options, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to be dope, right? They're going to be great for the money. They're all going to be at that $199 price point, right? But they're all discounted right now for that time right there on the shocker deal. They're only going to be discounted for that much longer for $183. $183, that's actually a really good deal, right? I like the Kalashnikov USA license. They feel a lot more higher quality than a lot of the other like more affordable AKs that are out there on the market. And again, they do have the official licensing on there, which makes it really, really dope. I think my favorite one out of all these would probably be. I do like this one. I do like the shortened barrel with the side folding wire stock or the triangular skeleton stock. That's really cool. I think this is really cool. It lends itself very well to a CQB environment, right? But one of the reasons why I like these as well is that the Kalashnikov USA license stuff actually offers a true quick change spring system, which I thought was really, really dope. Looks like we got the $5 donation from, looks like Fireside Cone 34. Thank you, man. You did not have to go ahead and give the $5 donation. If you want to support the channel more directly, you can shop for all your Airsoft goodies at Airsoft GI. But much appreciated, Fireside. Much, much appreciated. I'll answer your question as soon as I'm done with this one. And I'll go back to all the other questions as well. But yes, if you're asking me what my favorite AK for a beginner is going to be, it would most likely have to be the Kalashnikov USA license stuff because, again, it is still really, really affordable, all things considered, right? Okay. To answer your question, Fireside Code, do you think Airsoft is growing as a sport or do you think it's dying out? I think, we're in a weird sort of position right now, Fireside, and I was actually talking to a customer about this earlier, where, a lot of the older guys that have been playing Airsoft for a while have, some of them have actually kind of left the scene, right? Have other responsibilities or just kind of moved on in life, right? And that's totally cool, right? You're not forced to stay in one thing forever. You can move on and do other things if you like. Most guys, I feel like if you personally, I never see myself ever moving away from Airsoft, right? I feel like Airsoft really is my life. When I really think about it, when I'm at home, I'm thinking about Airsoft. I always want to play Airsoft. It just is a part of me, right? It's no matter which way I like, no matter how much if I wanted to try to escape it, I wouldn't be able to. It's because I love it too much, right? But we're in this sort of weird spot where a lot of the older guys have sort of left the scene, and we have a lot of newer players, right? I feel like it is growing for sure. I feel like we do have a lot of newer players. They may not be able to have the same reach, right, as like social media wise that maybe like some of the bigger influencers have right now. But I do think, and I do see it growing, right? We'll get players coming in, even just to the showroom, right, just to the walk-in store here in Cali, right? That we get more people coming in to the store wanting to get into this amazing hobby, and that is a fantastic thing to see. It genuinely does warm my heart seeing that, because it means that airsoft is going to have a future, right? Here's the thing, guys. Like, I know some of us, like, hopefully none of you, right? But I know there are some airsofters out there. I don't even want to call them airsofters. I know there's some assholes out there that think it's funny to make fun or bring down other players, especially newer players and small kids, right? Out that they see on the fields, or make them feel bad because they're asking a question, or make them feel bad because they can't afford all this nice gear, or make them afford all these nice guns. Here's the thing, guys. Without those newer players, airsoft is going to die. There is no future for airsoft. So this game if you say you love playing it, then you need to be a good member and contributing member to the community and help those players out, and make sure that newer players, if you see that there's a rental group or that there's even just one rental player, do your best to make sure that he has a good time and that you help him out whenever he needs it. Hell, offer help continuously, right? Let him know that, hey, he's welcome in this community. Let him know that he has a place where he can play and express himself freely, right? Without being considered like, oh, he's a weirdo, right? Because he plays with toy guns, right? Like, we all get that. I'm assuming outside of our regular, our airsoft community, right? Again, I said it on the podcast, right? My parents still don't fully understand what it is that I do. They still don't fully understand it, right? And I don't think they ever will, but that's totally okay. That's totally okay, right? I'm okay with being a weirdo because I have a community that I can lean on, and that makes me feel welcome. And I fell in love with this community years ago, and I'm still in love with this community. And we want to make sure that we get newer players in constantly, because again, if airsoft doesn't grow, it becomes stagnant, and stagnation breeds death, always, in any hobby. Right? So if you see a newer player on the field, do your best to help him out. If you see a young kid on the field, do your best to help him out, work with him. And they might surprise you. At the end of the day, like, they could very well be like the next, like, John Wick of the field, right? They could be very, very good, and but you're helping them get their start, right? Well, that's what I'll say about that. Yip Strips buying the Lance Tactical Gen 3 Helion with Delta Stock Field Ready Combo V2 right now. Hey, my man. First of all, congratulations, man. That gun is going to be very fucking cool. It's going to be very nice. And that Field Ready Combo is very cool. Also, I would say, too, you're going to be getting that automatic entry into the shopping spree giveaway, my man. So, YT Script, congratulations, bro. You got yourself a banger. A certified banger right there. This one comes from Coop303. What is the best iPro? Best iPro. Again, it really depends on ultimately what you like. There are some people that will say, the paintball style mask, right, is the best form of iPro. Understandable. I totally understand why. It's an all-inclusive, all-in-one system, right, where you just put on the mask and you have everything covered. Sometimes it could be like literally your ears, your eyes, obviously, hopefully your eyes, otherwise it wouldn't count, and your mouth as well, right? Sometimes even a little bit of your forehead. I totally understand the appeal for a mask design like that. For me personally, I'm not a fan. And that's mostly because, again, like, I have a different alternative, like, face protection route that I go with. I have a steel mesh guard. It's literally a square rectangle, right, that sits above, and it's metal and it's mesh, so no BBs are going to hit. That sits on top of my face. And then I wear a nice fitted, like, face wrap that presses against my face, so it presses the mesh guard against my cheeks, against my teeth, so that way I don't have to worry about getting my teeth shot up, right? I'll wear that under a face wrap. And then for goggles and iPro, because I do like to wear helmets sometimes, not always. A lot of times I actually prefer rocking just a headband or a bandana. I would actually recommend ASG. Let's see, walk-in goggles. It doesn't have to be these exactly, but this sort of style is typically what I like to go with. I'm just going to go tactical gear. Let's go full steel goggles, right? We'll click that. Yeah, something like these, right? These are going to be some of my favorite, like, style iPro that you can get. The Tactical Strike dual plane clear anti-fog goggles. These are nice, right? Even though these look just like glasses and they're labeled as glasses, they're goggles. They're full seal. That's the thing. They are full seals, which means that they're going to be accepted at every single airsoft field that you go to, right? Um, these are very minimalistic, right? These are low profile as fuck. So being able to use your optics and get a comfortable cheek rest is going to be possible with these guys. And I feel like a lot of full face masks don't always offer that. So these I really like. Even like the regular bulkier style goggles, right? I feel like sometimes can be a little bit too big, right? Something a little bit too much bulk, and it can get in the way of you using your optic. I like systems like this because this makes it so much easier to actually ADS, aim down sights, right? Comfortably, I should say. And there's other versions too. You can get the something like this. I own one of these as well, right? It fits on just like glasses, but again, it's curved and it fits and cups onto your eye, which is the important thing. So you're not going to be getting any stray BBs coming into your goggles or anything. All right, let's see here. Missing anything? Arthur Wendit. I prayed and try to help it never die. Yeah, man, that's the thing. Like at the end of the day, that's all we can really do, right? And that's why Airsoft GI, we do our best to make sure that we, that's the reason why we do these live streams at the end of the day, right? Because, a lot of newer players, and players in general might not always know what to do in certain situations. They might not know what products to buy. They might not know what parts are compatible, right? They might not always know, hey, what guns do I get if I'm trying to start out with and I want to have a good time? What would you suggest if I come across this type of player? All these different types of questions regarding airsoft, these are important, right? They may seem like a small thing to maybe some regular people, maybe regular viewers, or to longtime viewers of of our stuff. But at the end of the day, we go over it for a reason, and we don't care if we end up repeating ourselves because it's something that needs to be said. Remember, Airsoft is one of those things where we do our best to try to make the information, as Airsoft GI, we try to make the information as readily available and easy to access, but overall, many players still don't know where to access the information. Many players don't really know where to go when they have a question about something, right? And we wanted these live streams to be that for players. We wanted this live stream to be an opportunity for players to, one, not be ridiculed, because I've been on the receiving end of that. I've been made fun of for asking questions. Right, so that's the worst thing in the world. When you ask someone a question that you genuinely don't know the answer to, it's not like you're trying to be dumb or anything. You're asking because you don't know and you get made fun of. And I'm fucking sick of that, and I'm tired of that. So I really enjoy doing these live streams. Even if I help one person decide on a gun, right? And I know it's going to be a good gun and that's going to help them out. That's going to give them a good experience and keep them playing longer in the hobby. I feel as though I've done my job. I've done my job, and I'm going to continue doing my job, making sure that everyone has a good time when they play Airsoft. Everyone gets the right products that they need for their Airsoft gun, or they get the right tactical equipment to best suit their needs, right? So I that's the main thing. I really hope that we can continue to grow this community, right? That we can continue to grow the community, that we can continue to get Airsoft big. I want to get to a point where you tell someone off, or some rando off the street, hey man, I play Airsoft, and then they'll say, oh, that's really cool. They won't question it, because I constantly get the, oh, I play Airsoft, or I work in the Airsoft industry. Oh, what's that, right? I'm sure we've all experienced that at one point or another, right? So being able to say what it is, or no, being able to say what you do and not having to like give a full-on fucking essay as to what it is and why you enjoy it would be very nice, right? That's sort of the big thing. Prime Tech Customs, what's going on, man? Stitch again. Hey, man, how you doing? I'm assuming you left the store already. Okay, this one comes from Gula Gaming again. Asks, hey, can you give me some advice on the LCT LR16A3 Metal Electric Blowback AEG? Is it worth buying? So, when it comes to anything LCT, I will say this. LCT, oh boy. LCT is definitely on the higher end as far as the like price spectrum, right? They're definitely going to be considered higher end, and for good reason, right? A lot of their stuff is like really, really fucking like realistic in terms of its weight and its feel, which is a good thing. That's very cool. That's what LCT is banking on. Their electric blowback, I will say, I don't like to recommend the electric blowback stuff from LCT in general, just because I feel like the electric blowback isn't really that strong. You know what I mean? Like, it feels kind of weak compared to like other stuff out there, right? And I get it, it's electric blowback, not electric recoil. There's not supposed to be a huge recoiling action, but it should feel a little bit more satisfying, right? I have older G&Gs in my personal collection, right, that feel like, and they are cheaper than the LCTs when they were still available in the US market, that feel like they have a way more satisfying electronic blowback. function compared to LCT. Again, it could just be the models that I fired so far. I haven't fired that specific one, but from what I have noticed, I will say that I was a little bit underwhelmed by the LCT electric blowback. Again, if I'm going to go electric blowback on anything, I'm usually going to end up going with like, if I can find one, first of all, G&Gs, those are freaking hard to find. I would usually go with, honestly, electronic recoil at that point. You might as well. I'd rather just save my money, either go for a KWA, like a Ronin T10 or an ARM 4 series from them, or I'd go with the next generation recoil shock from Tokyo Marui. Those are probably just mine. Okay, guys, I have time for one more question, then that'll wrap up the stream. Yeah, okay, this comes from Caden Leatham. What's the best PEC box? That's really debatable because, again, there's no such thing as the best. It really all depends on ultimately what it is that you are looking for. But generally, for PEC boxes, we sell a ton. As long as it has a nice, bright, visible laser, then it's gonna work for your purposes. Again, I typically like TAC-9, Bravo. Those always seem to work. But honestly, I'd have to say if I had to choose the best, then I guess the nicest quality ones, it probably would be Atlas Custom Works, right? Atlas Custom Works. All right, either just type in ACW. That'll make it easier. ACW PEC, right? Type in ACW PEC. Yeah, there's gonna be a ton of like. I would probably say this is the one that that Justin has, and these are really nice. These are really, really nice. The IR function actually is functional too, which we've tested it out on actual night vision, and it does work. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap it up for today's Q&A live stream, storefront live stream, I should say. Remember to place your orders for the Independence Day mystery box if you guys haven't already. Remember, $170, automatically qualify for free shipping, and you get an insane list of prizes you could potentially win that are all going to be more expensive than the cost of the gun itself, so it's already going to be a come up, but getting the 10 chances of winning these shopping spree given when you order one of these bad boys is not something you want to pass up. So make sure you place your orders for one of these bad boys. We also have a ton of new products available on the website as well. That's going to include the new MGC4 Mark II color variants like the black and gold, the black and red, and the solid bronze. We also have the Zion Arms R15 Mod 0. We'll just take a second to look at that. Look at that. It's the same R15 that you know and love, but with the Picatinny end cap that you guys have been asking for, so you can swap on, say, a freaking MCX stock on there if you wanted to, and other stocks that we have available on our website as well that are compatible with that system with the Picatinny. Make sure to check out all the discounted items available on our website as well. We have a ton of shocker deals. And these aren't like, whatever guns. No, we're talking Tokyo Marui. We're talking KWA, right? Some really, really good shit on here. You don't want to miss out. So make sure that you place your orders now while you still can. Remember, anything $20 or more, and you have a shot at winning the shopping spree giveaway. It only takes one order to win, so might as well go ahead and shoot your shot. All right, guys, make sure to go ahead and place your orders. Support Airsoft GI most directly by buying from all your Airsoft goodies from Airsoft GI. Helps keeps the lights on, helps keep the camera rolling. If you guys like this live stream, make sure to go ahead and leave a